are aware that yesterday a school bus having children in it was attacked because somebody wants to be governor there. Okay? And it's somebody who, when he comes here, he talks the best of his, at the top of his voice. Okay? The former senator there. And his people attacked a car that was carrying children that he thought these people belonged to Governor Barasa, which is not true, because they're doing politics of identity. Politics of who ni mtu wetu. We want this fellow to become the governor of Kakamega. Now we operate with violence. If you've seen clips online, this fellow has people carrying rungus and shouting against the sitting governor. That's not how things should work. And beating people literally in the streets because they're doing politics of what? Of identity. Ni mtu wetu tunataka kuwe pale. If we went for merit, and we want to truly talk about merit in terms of even governors or even MPs, we will shift from that thinking of, let us not look at Dennis Aseto because he's a Luo, I'm going to have him there.
What must we do for that shift?
What we must do is one, actually there are two ways. One, we will face a rebirth. And there's no rebirth that is painless. Rebirths are painful. Very painful. And rebirths simply mean we go into a revolution and our conscience is pricked and say, oh, wait, we've killed 1 million people, like Rwanda. Because we were talking about this tribe should not lead. It's a common talk that is going around this country right now. And NCIC is just quiet. This person should not lead us, or this tribe has overeaten. They need to get out.
So we can do it.
We can't do that. We can't do that. What we have to agree on is you, and SpiceFM has been doing this for a long time. My starting of watching SpiceFM was because you guys are having proper discussions that elevate the thinking of the commoner, the thinking of the elite, so that we can have a discussion, unlike any other radio station that simply talks about sex in the morning. Here, you've been channeling these kinds of conversation, and today we're having it. If the media generally accepts that we have a problem, and the media appreciates that the media sits beyond the terms of parliamentarians and leaders, then we know that the actual power in the country sits with the media. The actual power actually sits with the media because it's an influence space. We have to reshape how people are thinking. And we have to help them see how we can figure out this issue. Because today we could be talking here and somebody will be dismissing and saying, parliamentary system for what? Because for them, what they're chasing now is legacy in terms of the money they'll pocket in their pockets or in their banks. But the reality is that in 2-3 years, when we are having a political crisis and people are in the streets, they'll say, oh, do you remember Ndu, Aseto and Odhiambo were talking about a parliamentary system? We need to go for that. So the parliamentarians, the people first need to be sensitized enough to know that, hey, the system has shifted. The stabilizer who was Raila Odinga is now not there. Without him, these politicians, as we see them, are still talking about their tribes and their homes. We need somebody who can talk properly about issues. And these issues, probably, we're not going to have it around a presidential system. Our issues are going to be discussed in parliament. Now, let us drive an initiative. Let the lawyers, the political players, who are conscious enough, be bold enough and come out and say, hey guys, let's do this. Let us shift our constitution. Because the constitution can be amended. The constitution can be redone afresh. And you say we are shifting from a presidential system because it is not working.
It's obvious that some of the ways to have change is to start to acknowledge that there is a need for it in the first place, and to have these conversations indeed, and to move, as we say, to move the needle. It is necessary for us to talk about these things because we can lament forever and say, oh, well, Parliament should have done it, they didn't. The President should have done it, they didn't. Well, there's a way in which they can. Odhiambo Otieno, thank you very much for joining us this morning, starting off the week in this manner. We'll keep talking. We'll keep giving the examples. We'll keep pricking that conscience.